esteemed guests and distinguished leaders, welcome to the Forbes India Leadership Awards 2025, a celebration of vision, resilience, transformative leadership. Over the years, FILA has honored individuals and organizations that have made India Inc. a global powerhouse. Now, in its 14th edition, we continue to recognize those driving India's ascent on the world stage. India's economic journey is nothing short of extraordinary. With a $3.7 trillion GDP, we are the world's fifth largest economy, on track to hit $5 trillion in 2 years and $7 trillion by 2030. But who is at the core of this success? Entrepreneurs, business leaders who drive innovation, scale new heights, and lead with purpose beyond profits that are not just shaping industries, but shaping our country and our future. Yes, the leaders of today lead with vision beyond business, one that shapes lives and communities. Leveraging its position as a leader in the news television, Network 18 has been championing causes that matter to India and the world. And in this journey, we have like-minded leaders with us, like our partner for the evening, Federal Bank. Just as the great leadership drives change, some battles need collective action. The fight against cancer remains a silent battle. 1 in 9 Indians are at risk. To raise awareness, Network 18, Federal Bank, Hormis Memorial Foundation, and Tata Trust launched Sanjeevani in 2023. Leading with courage and conviction, the incredibly talented Vidya Balan led by example, prioritizing her health with a cancer screening. Let's watch an inspiring film, a reminder that early detection saves lives.
So now you're ready to meet the doctor.
Okay, thank you. Hi. आप सोच रहे होंगे मैं हॉस्पिटल गाउन में क्या कर रही हूँ? नहीं नहीं, आई एम नॉट सिक और ना ही मेरा कोई शूट चल रहा है. मैं यहाँ आई हूँ फॉर अ वेरी स्पेशल रीजन, कैंसर स्क्रीनिंग कराने. और इसी बहाने आपको भी याद दिला दूं कि कैंसर स्क्रीनिंग जरूरी है.
Hi Vidya,
Hi,
are
Doc.
you ready?
Yes.
I'm so happy that you decided to get screened. I hope you're not scared.
I am nervous.
Well, डरने की कोई बात नहीं है. I can assure you that cancer screening is much easier than playing the role of a bhoot.
Okay.
बाकी टेस्ट तो हो गए. Let's go do mammogram.
Yes, doc. चलिए, let's get screened.
It is really important for everyone to know कि हम कैंसर को जितना जल्दी डिटेक्ट करेंगे, ट्रीट करेंगे, उतने ही ज्यादा चांसेस हैं कि हम उसे हरा पाएंगे, उसके ऊपर जीत हासिल कर पाएंगे. For example, one of the most important tests for breast cancer screening is mammography. Mammography is a test that can detect breast cancer even when there are no symptoms. कोई lump नहीं, कुछ नहीं, तब भी mammography से breast cancer detect कर सकते हैं. This is the test that Vidya is getting done today amongst other tests. But screening is not just for women. It's not just for breast cancer. It's for men and women. It's for many cancers beyond breast cancer. Everyone above a certain age must screen at least once a year.
It's done. शुरू में थोड़ा अजीब लग रहा था, but after a few minutes I was fine. Hi, doc. You were right. There was really nothing to worry about.
I'm so glad, Vidya, you're done with all your tests. Takes around 2 to 3 days for the test results to come back. When they're back, we can connect again and discuss the next steps.
Hopefully no next steps.
Oh yeah, of course. You take care of it.
Will do. Thank you, doc. देखा आपने? It's not that difficult. और अगर मैं कर सकती हूँ, तो आप क्यों नहीं? और symptoms का wait मत कीजिए. Time निकालें और screen करें. Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this fast-paced life and in the endeavor to achieve excellence in every aspect, let's remember to pause, to breathe, and to prioritize our health. Now, Bringing the spotlight back to the leaders, let's celebrate the trailblazers. Leaders who don't just succeed, but inspire. Their stories of perseverance and impact will shape India's future. And as John C. Maxwell said, they know the way, go the way, and show the way. To make this evening possible, we'd like to thank our partners, presenting partner Federal Bank, driven by Kia, workspace partner IndiCube, associate partner Reliance Industries Limited. For those unable to join us in person, please join us live on our website, the www.forbesindia.com, on our Facebook and YouTube channels. We are also at Forbes India on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you can share your favorite moments using the hashtag FILA2025. And now, without further ado, let us commence this evening. It is my distinct honor to invite Forbes India editor Suveen Sinha to set up the stage for the 2025 Forbes India Leadership Awards.
Thank you, Sonal. Can you hear me? Good. I'm Suveen Sinha. I'm the new guy. I joined 24 days ago, which is long enough for me to understand that all you nice people are here today, not because you want to listen to a speech from me. I will get out of your way really quickly. So good evening and welcome to this edition of Forbes India Leadership Awards. This is where we celebrate leadership, entrepreneurship, innovation, and philanthropy. Did I miss anything? No. I was checking because these are qualities which are really required in today's tricky times. Last week, I met the founder of an AI startup whose best coder is not even an engineer. And this chap, he's 19 years old, he has written 10,000 lines of code just by using prompts. On the other side of the world, who would have thought that President Trump's policies will actually lead to a resurgence of China as an investment destination? But that is exactly what is happening. Last week, President Xi held a meeting with his top businessmen and he told them, it is all right to get rich first. The short point is, these are volatile times and this is when leaders are required the most. But the thing is, even 10 years ago, people were saying these are volatile times. 20 years ago, they said volatile times. In fact, if you watch movies of the 1970s, you will hear dialogues like, क्या ज़माना आ गया है, आजकल के लड़के लड़कियां कुछ समझते ही नहीं, volatile times. The short point is that the times, they are always volatile, and leaders, they are always required. Speaking of movie lines, my favorite is from Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, in which a character called Leila, and the person who played it will be here soon, she says, seize the day, my friend. That is what leaders do. They seize the day. And today, we have a hall full of people who seize the day. And we are here to raise a toast to all of you. Thank you and welcome once again.
Well, thank you, Suveen, for that. Now, building on the momentum, we now move on to the first session of the evening. US President Donald Trump's tariff threats, including calling India a very big abuser of trade ties, have sparked global debate. If these tariffs take effect in April, they could reshape global trade, posing challenges for India and other economies. Coupled with geopolitical tensions and a weakening rupee, India's growth story faces new uncertainties and challenges. To moderate this crucial discussion on the new challenges and opportunities for India's growth story, I'd like to invite on stage Neha Bothra, Associate Editor for Forbes India. And unpacking these pressing issues, we've got KVS Manian, MD and CEO of Federal Bank with us. Please join us on stage, sir. We also have Rajesh Jejurikar, ED and CEO, Auto Farm Sector, Mahindra & Mahindra. Madan Sabnaves, Chief Economist, Bank of Baroda.
Hello and welcome everyone to Forbes India Leadership Awards. I couldn't have asked for a better panel to kick off the evening with a discussion which everyone is so interested in. It's about India's growth story against a global volatile economy. Let me begin the session by first coming to you, Mr. KVS Manian, and to address the elephant in the room. Everyone wants to know, to what extent will India be insulated from the global spillover effects of US tariffs, trade wars, and geopolitical tension?
So one can't say it will be completely insulated, but the strength of Indian economy has been its domestic consumption. So to that extent, all through these years, some element of insulation India has got because of that. And I don't think that will change too much.
All right. So Mr. Manian does not think it will change too much. Mr. Jejurikar, please add your views as well.
I just want to borrow from a line that Suvir just used, which is seize the moment.
Okay.
And, I think we should be more focused around what our real strengths are as a nation. And we have a huge amount of real strengths, quality of talent, people, resources, innovation, and we actually don't need to overreact to worries about tariffs and how the rest of the world is going to react, because we are in a position where we can negotiate with the world now. And, I think every time, as an Indian company, people raise this question to ask on how you're going to compete with the rest of the world. And our reaction always has been, we'll find a way, and we have found ways. And we have found ways to keep prospering, amongst competition over the last so many years. Once we've developed that capability to do that, and I think the nation has talented, passionate people who want to make that happen, I think tariffs is something that may come in and go. And I think overall, we have to believe that the world needs us probably more than we need them. And if they need us, we will not be in a weak negotiating position.
So the world needs India more. India is the fastest growing global economy. Mr. Sabnavis, you are the economist. Do help us understand the situation a bit better.
Okay, now when you're looking at this situation, let's look at it at a macro level and a micro level. See, at a macro level, the impressionistic view is that probably we may not be affected too much on account of the tariff wars which are there. A reason being that if you look at, even though America is our largest exporting partner, if you look at its share of around 17% in overall exports, if you look at it in terms of share in overall GDP, it's around 2%. So even if my exports come down by, say, 10%, GDP gets affected by 0.1, 0.2%, which is not significant. So at a macro level, we can actually sit back and say that, look, our GDP growth story will remain where it is. But you look at the micros of it. If you see the kind of industries that are going to be affected, we are talking of industries like pharmaceuticals, ready-made garments, I think precious stones, and chemicals, part of engineering. Now, these are the sectors which could take a hit. So I wouldn't like to sit back and say that, look, nothing is going to happen. I think at the micro level, since Manian and I are in the banking sector, though I don't do any business, so I may not be personally worried about the NPA numbers. But yes, if I were to look at it seriously, I will say, okay, if I'm looking at the pharma companies, see what kind of borrowing they're doing, are their sales getting impacted or not? I think there will be concerns at the micro level. So in short, at the macro level, maybe the GDP growth numbers will remain optically the same. But internally, I think we need to be a bit cautious. There needs to be regular monitoring. And more importantly, since we are talking about India becoming a part of global supply chains, now we've been talking of it for the last 5 years. Even before the pandemic, we haven't really made much progress out there. We need to rethink this entire strategy of whether it's something which is possible in this kind of an environment.
Indeed. So focusing a bit more on the domestic economy, Mr. Jejurikar, I have a question for you. Manufacturing sector has seen a slowdown. In fact, urban consumption has been weak. There is surplus capacity in the system. How do you read the situation, and what is your outlook in terms of demand, also in terms of utilizing many of these capacities in terms of investment that you would like to make?
Yeah, I'll try and answer this more at a micro level, since that's where you left that off. At a micro level, firstly in our industry, we've grown our capacity on the auto side about 3 times in the last 4 years. And the question that we are being asked right now is, why are we not increasing capacity faster than what we are saying we will? So I think, I'm first going to answer this question more from a B2C, which is a consumer-led context, which is the sectors in which we play. I do believe that as long as we have strong innovative products and we are able to excite customers with them, there is demand. The crux, I think, to growth is innovation, which is innovation with exciting products at very good price points. I think that's very important in the Indian context. Consumers want a lot and are not willing to pay for it. And all of us have to be willing to work that much harder at costs. So I think from a micro context, that's what companies should do. And if you're able to do that, we will be increasing capacity a lot. We saw an urban boom for 3 to 4 years, so there's a little bit of a base effect there, and we should treat that as a blip, and I'm sure that's going to come back soon. The rural sector saw a big upside for the first 2 years because when COVID was on, actually rural was booming, and then there was a slowdown, bad monsoons, cut back in government spending in agriculture and rural, all of which is coming back. So we are seeing a recovery in rural. And, at least over the years that I've been around in the industry, I've seen urban and rural rarely boom at the same time. So we've got to be mentally prepared that, when urban is booming, rural is probably going to see a little bit of a slowdown. So, you get a bit of balancing between the two. For companies, many companies which have a strong rural presence will see an upside. And I think that's pretty insulated from what's happening around the world. Going back to your first question on tariffs, we have a very, very strong domestic market and a big opportunity to grow. There are several categories which are not penetrated enough, going back to the point being made earlier about Navas's point around exports of pharma. What's the penetration of pharma and medicines in India yet, and how much have we penetrated rural? So I think we should be doing more hard work around how we can get our products out there to our own customers.
Mr. Manian, you wanted to add something?
No. So, staying on a broader theme that you were talking about, manufacturing capacities still unutilized. I think the way I look at it is, there has been a strong consumption growth over these years. Yet, we've been talking of capacity utilizations stagnating at whatever, 75. It hasn't crossed 80 for sure, all through these years. The way I look at it is, I think structurally, Indian manufacturing needs to look at either producing goods which are, like he said, innovative or high value added, high precision engineering, basically high quality goods, either that path or they have to manufacture goods, mass goods at cheaper costs. Today, I think one of the challenges why the capacity utilization doesn't go up is that we are being, the consumption is being fed through imports, and imports of either high quality goods. So a lot of us here buy goods which are imported, or at the mass level, it's Chinese or whatever, low cost producers can meet that demand. So I think in some ways, this manufacturing, restructuring the manufacturing ecosystem to make sure that they either produce high quality goods which meet the demand or the low cost mass produced goods. I would say there is a journey to be made to get there.
All right. Mr. Sabnav is coming to you at this point. Are you seeing firm signs of recovery in consumption, both urban and rural?
Okay, before I answer that question, I think the fundamental issue we should ask ourselves is, are we creating enough jobs in the country? Okay, The fact is that we are creating a lot of jobs. There is data which comes from the government which says that lots of jobs are being created. EPFO data says, so I assume people are getting employed. If you look at CMI data, it gives a totally contrary picture. They say unemployment rates are high, 8 to 9%. So 8 to 9% is what CMI says. The government says it's 4 to 5%. The truth will be somewhere in between. Now, actually ask ourselves a question. How many jobs are being created and what kind of jobs are we creating? For example, today we have created a lot of jobs in the construction sector, in the logistics sector. So you have all these Swiggy boys who are working from 6 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock at night. You know, prior to the pandemic, when I had asked somebody casually, what is the income you're earning? That person said, I earned 45 rupees per order. Today, the guy gets around 1,000 rupees, but he has to do something like 40 deliveries in a day. Now, think of a person who's come from his village. He's earning 1,000 rupees a day. On paper, it looks very impressive. 30,000 rupees per month is not a bad salary. But the guy has to look after his family in his village. He has to look at his rentals, his food in the city. The question is, does he have money to spend? So the point I'm making is that today when we're talking of consumption, we're talking of capacity utilization, we are seeing a distinct picture where infrastructure-oriented industries have high capacity utilization. So where the government is spending, there's a front end there, so therefore there are back-end linkages which are coming, and therefore there is investment taking place in steel companies. Some of them will say we are operating at 110% capacity. But the moment you come to consumer goods, the question is that why should I invest more when I don't have the demand? Now, one factor which has been stated by a number of FMCG companies in their presentations after the quarterly results is that inflation has come in the way, which is a fact. Inflation has come in the way. I have less spending power. I spend more on necessities, so therefore I have less for discretionary consumption. But if you look at the skewed distribution of income, there are lots of rich people who have become richer. So in the same complex which I stay in Andheri, it's not in South Bombay, almost everybody has a BMW, a Mercedes, or an Audi car. There's no parking space inside. That's a different issue. Now, how many times is a person going to buy these high-end cars? So you look at real estate, you look at automobiles. The common thing is that premium vehicles are selling. Premium houses are selling. Just today on the TV, I was watching one of the top real estate companies saying that affordable housing doesn't work today. So people don't have money at one particular level. At the other level, you have a lot of money to spend, but probably you don't have space to keep it. How many houses am I going to buy? How many cars am I going to buy? So I think that's where the fundamental problem rises. Unless I create jobs which give you a meaningful amount of income, only then will I be spending. If I spend, there's automatically a case of a capacity utilization improving, in which case you go in for fresh investment. So the government always says, I want the private sector to invest. Now, see, the government can go in for capital expenditure. It doesn't have to bother about return on capital. If any of you all out here who are in charge of enterprises, if you're going to invest, you will say, I'm answerable to my shareholders. I can't put 11 lakh crores and say that I don't care what happens. I'm making the economy better off. So I think that's the fundamental issue. We need to create jobs. We need to generate income, self-sustaining income, which will lead to higher consumption. So that is something which has to take place in the economy for higher investment and higher economic growth.
Yes. To take this point forward, Mr. Manian, I want to come to you and talk to you about job creation. Mr. Manian touched upon it. The MSME sector is critical for India's growth story. What is your reading of the MSME sector, particularly in light of the headwinds that we are seeing in the economy, be it funding availability? How do you think this sector can actually help us better our growth score?
You know, all of us know MSME is close to 30% of the GDP. They contribute to that. And if you look at banks today, at least most progressive banks, if you ask most bank CEOs, the one segment they will say is their focus and they want to grow fastest will be MSME. I think you can take a poll of 10 CEOs, probably 9 out of 10 will say that. So I think in terms of availability of finance, it is definitely improving significantly. In fact, I would say the turning point was post-COVID when the government did the scheme on the ECLGS scheme, which was a support to the MSME lending. I think that did buffer the sector from the impact of COVID. And, you know, that was the time when it could have had issues, but I think they sailed through that period. And since then, I don't think the sector has looked back. I think NPA levels in the MSME have actually dropped over. For banks, it has been at least a sector which has seen lower NPAs. So I think overall the environment is good for for the financing of NBFCs, MSMEs and growing that sector. Yeah.
Mr. Sabnavas.
Just interrupt here since we're talking of MSMEs. If we're talking of MSMEs, when we're talking of trade tariffs, import tariffs, just remember that MSMEs are the ones who contribute maximum to our exports. 40% of our exports are accounted for MSMEs. So if I go to the micro level, maybe even the industry may get away, but we don't know what happens to the MSMEs. They're going to be affected a lot in case there's any kind of an embargo, any kind of an impediment which comes on account of that. Sorry.
Yes, that's a fair point. Mr. Sabnavas, I also wanted to talk to you about the repo rate cut, the 25 basis point cut. Going the way things are, the general reading is that there will be another round of rate cuts coming very soon. How do you think this will pan out for a weak rupee? We already hit a record low against the US dollar. Could you tell us a bit about what repercussions this will have? Of course, we do need growth, but at what cost?
See, the view which was taken by the Monetary Policy Committee is that inflation is something which is going to trend downwards. And since growth is stable, but we would like it to be higher, maybe going up to our potential of 7.5%, it was the right time to reduce the repo rate. So therefore, the repo rate has been reduced. But believe me, I don't think any bank has actually lowered, I don't know what Manian will have to say about lowering the rates. Because if we look at the situation today, we have a deficit of liquidity in the system, which means banks do not have enough funds. RBI is inducing something on the average of 2 lakh crores on a daily basis to make sure that the system is going up. So banks are not in a position to lower the deposit rates because we've already seen deposits migrating to the market because of better returns. And today, if you're going to say, I'm going to lower the deposit rate, that's a transmission taking place. I'm quite sure the next couple of policies, the RBI governor is going to say, we have lowered the repo rate. Why is it that banks are not doing the transmission part? So that kind of transmission is not taking place. So unless the transmission takes place through the deposits, only then can we see the MCLR change, only then can we see the rates coming down. Now, an interesting point one should remember is that when the repo rate comes down, the EBLR, that is the external benchmark lending rate, which holds for lots of retail loans, gets repriced automatically. So all the loans get repriced. However, for deposits, it's only the incremental deposits which can possibly be getting a lower rate if at all the bank decides to do it. So I think there's going to be a time gap before the repo rate cut and we see the lending rates and deposit rates go down. Of course, if deposit rates go down, I won't be too happy as an individual, but that's a precondition for me to start lowering the MCLRs. And I believe there are a number of private sector banks who have actually changed their spreads over the repo rate, that's the external benchmark, so that even though the repo rate has come down by 25 basis points, you have not passed on the full amount, even for the loans which are based on the EBLR. So to my mind, we are looking at another 50 basis points cut in the repo rate in the current year. So means by December 2025, we could be having a repo rate of 5.75. But it would be unrealistic for us to expect that will go down any further. Historically, since 2012, we've had a repo rate, an average repo rate of around 6%. So 6% is not bad. Inflation going down to 4% is a dream. They're going to remain 4.5% to 5%. So add 4.5%, 5%, add 1.5% spread or the real return. I think a repo of 6.5 looks to me a fair amount in the long term. But in the short term, we can expect it to go down to 5.75.
Against this backdrop, Mr. Jejurikar, how are companies such as yours navigating this particularly not very easy path, challenging, some would say?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. How are we navigating what?
How are you navigating this challenging phase? We just discussed some of the challenges, the domestic headwinds, the volatility in the global economy. So how are companies such as yours charting this journey?
Yeah, you know, I'm a huge optimist, and I think we all should be. In every challenge, there's an opportunity, and the way we would want to approach it is continue to think around growth, continue to think of what actions we can take to grow, and sometimes that means that we work harder on many things that are on our action plan, prepone them, and stay positive. And I think there are enough opportunities for growth. We've got to find them, find categories which will show growth, and even if there are downturns, which inevitably in any economic cycle there will be, use that as an opportunity to prepare for a stronger future by becoming leaner in that time.
All right. So my last question before we wrap up, very quickly, what is your growth outlook for FY26? I'll start with you, Mr. Manian.
From banking sector perspective, the way we look at it is the sector is overall well poised in terms of its capitalization, its asset quality. One has seen some impact to asset quality on the unsecured small loan side. But broadly, I would still say the asset quality is quite good, probably almost as good as we have seen it 12 years back, 10, 12 years back. So I think the industry has the ability to scale up from here. Madan touched about the deposit challenge for the industry. The way I look at it is hopefully with the easing measures that RBI is already doing, and if the markets do well, a return of the foreign capital into the stock markets, maybe a quarter or two, over the quarter or two, we will see liquidity back, hopefully. And if that happens, the deposit side looks better. So I would say overall the banking sector is poised for taking higher risks. If private capex does come back, I would say the credit growth, if private capex comes back, gets more robust. Otherwise, of course, it continues to be driven by the retail side. One is hoping that, again, that happens over the next few quarters. And if that happens, I think we have a positive outlook going forward. Yeah.
Is private capex coming back, Mr. Jajurikar?
Yeah, I just picking up from the point that you were making earlier, sir, that capacity utilization is 75-80%. And I think that's a healthy level of capacity utilization, because just seasonality, in India, the seasonality within a year, you have a volume upside of 20-25% depending on the time of the year you're selling. So you have to have 20% more capacity than what you intend to sell. So, just as we've learned with time that every time we are short on capacity, the loss of profit from not utilizing or not leveraging the opportunity that it presents itself is way more than the cost of creating that additional capacity. So it's good to have 15-20% capacity unutilized, because that allows you to seize opportunities as they come. So yes, I think private capex is going up. We've just invested close to $2 billion right now, 18,000 crores in our electric SUVs over the last 2 years, and they've just been launched, going to market deliveries in March, and they've got an exciting response. So yes, we continue to stay positive and invested.
Mr. Sabnavis, what is your growth outlook for the economy for FY26?
See, for 24-25, we got a number just an hour back or 2 hours back that the GDP growth was 6.5%. So we had a first estimate of 6.4, it's come to 6.5. And the interesting part was that the revised number for the previous year had gone up from 8.2 to 9.2. So on that high base, we got 6.5%. So this gives a bit of confidence that for 25-26, we'll probably be able to maintain the 6.5. In fact, our house view was that we'll go up to 6.8%. I think the RBI was at 6.7. The government was between 6.3 and 6.8%. So numerically, I think the Indian economy is going to perform well. But this said, we should remember that when we looked at different sectors, there are going to be challenges. It's not going to be easy. I think even in terms of banking, for example, if you look at the new regulations which the RBI has been talking of course, they've said very clearly it's not going to be implemented in fiscal 26. It could happen in 27 or 28. There'll be more discussion with the stakeholders. But the moment you have these new capital norms coming in, banks have to work on the basis that they're going to happen at some point of time. They need to rework their own strategies. And even in terms of investment, I think when we are talking of capacity utilization of 75-80%, it's not broad-based. If you actually look at it, various sectors, there are lots of sectors less than 70%. There are others which are closer towards the 80%. So I think things are going to happen in an incremental manner. So there will be investment taking place. Consumption is also going to improve. I think all these factors will fit together in this entire environment of uncertainty which we are talking of in terms of the tariff wars. So I think we can manage something in the region of 6.5 to 7% in the next year.
6.5 to 7%. Thank you so much, gentlemen, Mr. Manian, Mr. Jajurikar, Mr. Sabnavis, for your time. Thank you for sharing your insights.
Thank you, Neha.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for that thought-provoking discussion, to Neha, to our panelists as well. All right, as we move ahead, it's time to recognize the first set of winners for the evening. In its 14th edition, the Forbes India Leadership Awards is more than just an awards night. It's a celebration of resilience, innovation, and leadership that is shaping India's future. Over the years, we have honored trailblazers who have redefined industries, built enduring legacies, and put India on the global map. Tonight, we continue the tradition of recognizing leaders who don't just chase success, but create impact. Those who lead with purpose, passion, and unwavering determination. So let's get ready to celebrate excellence and embrace inspiration and applaud the champions of India, Inc. Let's begin the Forbes India Leadership Awards 2025. All right, to present the first set of awards, I would like to invite on stage Amit Chandra, partner at Bain Capital India, and Venkatachalan Iyer, MD and CEO, Tata AIA Life, to join us on stage, please. All right, as we get into this, just want to say a quick hi. We have also Mr. Jay Shah in the audience with us. Good evening, sir. Katrina Kaif has also joined us. Thank you so much for joining us and gracing the occasion. All right, the Emerging Innovators category at the Forbes India Leadership Awards celebrates entrepreneurs solving tough challenges in deep tech. It's all about recognizing those pushing the boundaries of science and engineering to create real impact. And this year, the Forbes India Leadership Award for Emerging Innovator, powered by Federal Bank, goes to Bugworks. The company's founders are attempting to bring to market a new class of antibiotics, a first in almost half a century. Please welcome on stage with a big round of applause the co-founders of Bugworks Research, Dr. Anand Kumar, Dr. V. Balasubramaniam, Dr. Santanu Datta.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are extremely grateful and honored to get this award from Forbes India. To be here with all of you amazing people is just great. Science is really not celebrated in our country as much as it should, because science is solving big problems of health, agriculture, environment, etc. So it's a big honor that Forbes has this category to appreciate deep science. Very quickly, in Bugworks, we're inventing a new antibiotics as well as working on cancer solutions. And we are very honored that we can do work that can impact tens of millions of lives all over the world, starting from our country, which is thank you so much. That's the key, right? If you crack something, it's going to be around for 40 to 50 years. saving tens of millions of lives all over the world, including countries like India that are cancer capital, infection capital, etc. My outstanding scientists in Bangalore, in Australia, in the US, and my co-founders, it's a big honor for me to work with them. So thank you so much for recognizing science. I hope we invest as a country in science. Thank you.
All right, congratulations to the entire team at Bugworks Research. Our next award then is the Forbes India Leadership Award for Outstanding Startup. This recognition honors a company that has carved a niche within a decade, showcasing strong funding, steady growth, profitability, and a winning business model. And this year, the Forbes India Leadership Award for Outstanding Startup goes to Browser Stack, a SaaS company, a SaaS unicorn. Browser Stack has taken the space of cloud, web, and mobile testing by storm. Its co-founders, Ritesh Arora and Nakul Agarwal, want to raise their browser testing infrastructure startup to the status of a global platform provider. Big plans out there for them. Please join me in welcoming Ritesh and Nakul on stage to receive the award. Nakul and Ritesh, if you'd like to say a few words.
Thank you, Forbes, and the jury for the award. But most of it, the award is for the entire Browser Stack team. We are a 13-year-old company, but we have still so many employees which have been with us for over 10 years. So they are a big part of this. It feels special today to get this award. Because everyone who has made me and Browser Stack here is here with me. My wife, my friend, and my parents are here. So it feels special today. So, probably I'm sure no one here would have heard about us. I get that all the time. But I can tell you, we are one of the backbones of the digital economy worldwide. Half of the airlines, half of the banks, tech companies use us at the back end to build their digital applications. And that's just the beginning for us. For us, it's just probably the beginning and the start. Our aim is to build one of the biggest global tech company from India, and we're not going to stop until we get there. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations, guys. I'm sure after tonight they will hear, they will think about it. I also want to thank Mr. Chandra and Mr. Iyer for presenting the awards. All right, to present the next set of awards, I would like to call upon stage Harsh Mariwala, founder and chairman of Marico, and also our FILA jury chair. If I can also call upon Ashish Agarwal, MD and country head for Jefferies India. The FILA Icon of Excellence Award honors individuals who have not only achieved extraordinary success in their field, but have also set new benchmarks of dedication, versatility, and influence. It recognizes those who continue to inspire, break barriers, and redefine excellence. The first recipient of the FILA Icon of Excellence is someone who doesn't shy away from a challenge. He's best known for turning around entities such as the Delhi Transport Corporation and Doordarshan, and in recent business history, SpiceJet. Not once, but twice. Now, his baby, as he likes to call it, is coming out of trouble of sorts. And as Ajay Singh is not giving up, and he may be the best man for the job, please put your hands together for Ajay Singh, Chairman and MD, SpiceJet. Congratulations, sir. We would also love to hear some thoughts.
Thank you so very much, Forbes, and a great honor to receive this award from my friends Ashish and Mr. Mariwala. I think SpiceJet is a labor of love, and we started it despite great odds, and we've kept it alive despite great odds. I think it's one of those companies that have seen a great deal of stress and pressure for reasons sometimes not of its own making. But the one thing that we were always sure of was that we will never, never let this airline die. This is an airline that carries the flag of our country very proudly on its wings. And in every way, it is a national asset. It is there to serve the country and its people. And this is what we have attempted to do. At this time, the country in the aviation sector, which is a booming sector, has a duopoly. And it is our responsibility to ensure that SpiceJet remains alive so that the sector remains competitive and passengers have a choice. So we will continue to do that. Thank you so very much for this honor, and thank you so very much for the wonderful cover photograph that you had of me in the Forbes, and Rajiv for the wonderful article that you wrote. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Singh, again. So the next recipient of Fila Icon of Excellence is someone who has made incredible contribution to cinema. From Jab Tak Hai Jaan to Merry Christmas, apart from films, her inspiring entrepreneurial journey of building and growing K-Beauty and her commitment to the social causes she supports makes her an icon of excellence. Please welcome on stage Katrina Kaif, actor and founder, K-Beauty, whose talent, passion and dedication makes her a shining icon. Huge round of applause, please. Katrina, we would love to hear a few words.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for this incredible honor and for this award. For me, I truly believe that if you are going to step into the arena of business, in any avenue, you truly have to have something to say, you have to have something that's unique, and you have to know what you stand for. And for me, that was K-Beauty. For me, K-Beauty is so incredibly personal. It's about what I have to say about what I feel about beauty, about what I feel about community, about what I feel about self-expression, and the incredibly powerful, transformative power of makeup, and what the role it's played really in my life. I think right now I would just like to say special mention to my incredible partners, Falguni Nair, Advaita Nair, Anchit Nair. We've been together on this journey hand in hand, step by step, and it's because of them that really I think I've been able to achieve what was truly in my heart with K-Beauty. And I really believe that this is just the beginning for us with K-Beauty, and I look forward to growing our community, to taking it to every part of the country and internationally, and I'm really excited for what comes next for us. Thank you so much, and thank you to Forbes for this incredible award. Thank you.
Congratulations, Katrina. Please stay back on stage. I'd like to thank Mr. Mariwala and Mr. Agarwal for doing the honors. Katrina, I'll request you to stay back for the next segment as well. And I'd like to welcome Forbes India Assistant Editor Naini Thakkar for a fireside conversation, which we've titled Going Beyond Just Endorsements, Building a Brand Ground Up. Hi, Katrina. Thank you so much for being here, and congratulations for winning Icon of Excellence at Forbes
Thank
India
you so
Leadership
much. It's my
Awards.
pleasure to be here.
Great. I'm very, very excited about this conversation. As a personal user of K-Beauty, I must say you have a fabulous brand. You have a very, very fabulous brand.
Well, you have to tell me what's your favorite product that you use.
I love your lipsticks. I love them. They don't make my lips dry at all. So absolutely.
Well,
love
you've
them.
made my day. I'm
Yes.
so happy to hear that.
Fantastic. So, let's get started with your journey in terms of when you started off, as an entrepreneur. So as a successful actress, tell us, how did your experience in the entertainment industry influence your decision to launch your own brand?
I think my entire experience, so much of my journey of being an actor and being in the public eye, and the pluses and I think sometimes the difficulties that can be accompanied with, whether it's the constant scrutiny of you, of your appearance as a woman, every single day, social media. I think the entire process for me was such a huge part of what led me to my journey and brought me to actually launching the company K-Beauty. For me, there was something so truly personal that I wanted to say about self-expression, about makeup, which has been a huge passion of mine. It's probably was my earliest passion. I've always been absolutely enthralled and obsessed by the transformative power of makeup. I think that it really brought me out of my shell, and it helped me to kind of express myself when I was very shy, when I was a teenager. And through my journey, as I was an actress, I felt that there was something that I wanted to say that was deeply personal to me, and that was really about embracing who we are, being okay with who we are at all the various times in our life. Sometimes we feel like we're on top of the world and we feel like $1,000,000, and other times you feel like you're in the doldrums and you can't even face your own family, And I think that that's important for us to embrace every aspect of who we are, every aspect of ourselves. And there was a certain intimidation that I sometimes could see associated with the beauty industry, sometimes associated with makeup, like even when you went to speak to a beauty advisor, at the counter. And that was something that I really wanted to change with K-Beauty. I wanted there to be a community which felt celebratory, which felt fun, which felt accepting, and where people, whoever you are, however you looked, all genders could truly feel like this is a place of expression. This is a place where I can be free and where I can express myself. And that, I think, is the emotional core. That's really the ethos behind what we wanted to say and what I tried to say with K-Beauty. And I think when it came to the product, for me it was very, very clear. I really, really, really wanted to give the best quality product to every consumer, and for it not to be restrictive, not to be only available to a select few who could, perhaps, afford a certain, out-of-reach price point. But at the same time, I wanted there to be absolutely no compromise on the quality. I wanted it to be of the highest standard, high performance, because that was my passion. So for me, my passion is actually creating the products. My passion
you're
is
quite
innovation.
a perfectionist in that also, right?
Yes, I know this is a room full of business leaders, so it's not going to go down well what I'm going to say, because I know the timelines have to be adhered to, but we actually launched almost 2 years later than initially intended, because I was like, we're going to launch when the products are perfect. And I think that really paid off, though, because from day one on our launch, I think we earned the trust of the beauty consumers and the beauty industry.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what would you say have been some key challenges and learning curves in the process of building this brand? And you've had a great mentor in Falguni Nair. So tell me how has it been?
Like you said, I have the most incredible mentor in Falguni Nair. And what I absolutely love about her is the journey we've taken together from day one to almost now 5 years later. When she first met me, I think she could just see all the passion, all the creativity, and what I wanted to say, and this ad film, and this campaign, and she could see that, okay, that she wants to express herself, and she let me. She really, really let me. And I think slowly over the years, I've spent more time with her. I've learned so much about those things called P&Ls, AOPs.
Oh, wow.
Before I was like, no, I just want to create. But now I think I've understood more the business, the entire business structure, the 360 picture of what it takes to be a successful business. And that's important. And these are learnings which I think have been instrumental in bringing K-Beauty to where it is today. Yeah. But at the same time, I think that for me, my biggest driver remains the innovation, the creativity, the expression, the part which we communicate to the audience, to the consumer with our visuals, what we believe at K, what we stand for. That for me is my biggest driver. Yeah. And then I think I couldn't ask for a better partner with Falguni Nair, Advaita Nair, and they're there to, to keep the numbers in
exactly.
Check. There you go.
So you can have fun, absolutely. But tell me, what were some initial challenges and setbacks that you faced that were a struggle for you to kind of deal with early on?
I think making sure, I don't know if it's a struggle, but I think it's something which was an important learning for me, to really make sure you're listening to the consumer and to be swift and precise about incorporating their feedback. So it could be about a product, whether you need to pivot, whether you need to change, whether you need to add more shades, whatever feedback. We've always really, really encouraged that dialogue between us and the consumer, and we really pay attention to it. In fact, I remember in the early days, I used to ask our social media team, are you guys reading each and every comment on the social media? What are they saying? What are they asking for? What are people feeling? And I think that initial feedback was very, very instrumental in kind of helping us build that connection with the consumer.
That's fabulous. In fact, when you talk about your products in itself, there are some very, very interesting and different variants that you have, right? How did you sort of identify that gap in the market? Because it would have been tough to kind of educate the market as well, right? Because, something like, a lip plumper, for instance, is something that you guys launched, but no one in India kind of had that earlier. So things like that, how do you identify that gap and educate the market?
So I think that's where my passion and my knowledge from my experience with makeup over more than 20 years in the film industry is I sat on the chairs of so many makeup artists, some of the best makeup artists in the world, in our country, internationally, and it's always been a passion of mine. So I was always observing the tips and the tricks they used. Why would they choose one product over another? And for a large part of my career in films, I actually did my own makeup. So I think, so as your colleague said earlier, in Jab Tak Hai Jaan, I had done a lot of my own makeup for that. Yes. Wow. So I know makeup and I know what I want out of my product. And I think I kind of feel that that's what every consumer wants. They want high performance makeup. They want the product to deliver what you promised them. So for me, that's really just it's almost my guiding light. If it works for me, in terms of the efficacy of the product, because of the amount of experience I've had using products, whether it's the humidity in our country, the stability of the product, I think that's something that we're really, really conscious of. And I think once you've had that experience with the product, then you know what it's like. And I think that's where we have so many loyal consumers.
Wow. And you speak about passion. Clearly, you are extremely passionate and a perfectionist, as I gather. But as a leader, how hands-on are you? Do you, give us an instance of how involved do you get into the day-to-day running of K-Beauty?
Well, put it this way. Every time there's a K meeting, and, the big discussions that happen, they happen at my house. And every time it's scheduled, my husband asks me, okay, so what do you have today? And if I say I have a K meeting, then he goes, okay, so basically you want me out of the house the whole day. So we spend a lot of time together as a team. We have an incredible team. I have an incredible team that I work with at K-Beauty, and everyone is super hands-on, right from Falguni to Advaita to our head of business, Sukleen, to my head of marketing, Pearl. They're all so involved, and what we do is we have an open dialogue. Every person of the team has a place on the table to have their voice heard. I listen to them, and that's something that I'm extremely conscious of. And it's really important to hear everyone out and really understand where they're coming from. Everyone has something to contribute. And I think it's that teamwork which really kind of, it's that very democratic environment which really makes, I think, a standout.
Wow. And, you know, I mean, when you talk about working with your team, you know, what, I mean, obviously there would be the ups and downs, whatever it be. What does it teach you about resilience, you know? How has it changed you as a person?
It teaches you about patience. I think it's taught me a lot about patience, and it's also taught me that with passion comes high emotion. And I think you have to have room for that. You have to let people have good days and bad days, and just, I think, observe all the members of the team, observe their passion and commitment, not necessarily, you know, judge people by each word or each perfect behavior or someone's having a tough day. Yeah. I think it's really about their dedication and the commitment to the brand. I think that is something that I really look for.
Lovely. And there's one big differentiator that you guys, like you rightly mentioned in the beginning, is the fact that, you know, you've made the brand very authentic, right? Tell us more about that, and, you know, how do you ensure that the brand remains authentic while also navigating the pressures that come with running a business?
I think that's something which is really, really important, because as the brand grows from strength to strength, and as the brand grows in size, I am observing slowly that there are new sets of challenges and new things that you have to navigate as a company to really be true to what your voice is and what are your pillars, what is your ethos. And I think that's something that I constantly have in my mind. And I'm very, very conscious to maintain that, because, as I said, for me, K-Beauty is truly personal. What I wanted to say about inclusivity, what I wanted to say as it being a platform of self-expression, where everyone is represented, a place which is fun, which is celebratory. So that's something I'm very, very conscious of. And as well as some of our other pillars, we have something called K Conversations, where we've highlighted women who are doing extraordinary things in the world from all walks of life, all across the country, whether it's, you know, someone who's a teacher, someone who has done something incredible during COVID. And that's something which is a big passion of mine. We started it from day one, and that's something we maintain today, to highlight and to celebrate women who are doing truly incredible things in all walks of life. Another part of K-Beauty, which is a true passion of mine, is what we have called Care Initiative. Okay. And this is something where we're constantly, and for me, I'm always looking for ways that I can, in my own small way, in whatever way, give back to a community who gave me so much love and acceptance when I came in as a complete new entrepreneur into the beauty industry. And there's something really exciting which we're going to be launching soon this year, in fact, just a few days now. And it's something which is truly, truly personal to me, and I hope that I'm able to take it from strength to strength, about really uplifting women, uplifting people who also want to step into the beauty industry but may not have the exact correct inroads. Yep. And that's something that we're going to be partnering with them to kind of help them and see what doors we can help to open.
Wow, very excited about this new launch. And looking back on your entrepreneurial journey, you know, what would you say have been some lessons that you've learned, you know, if you could name a couple, and some, wow, you're laughing. Just
I'd say my biggest lesson that I've learned is actually something which is also echoed that my husband used to say, especially in the first few months of marriage, which is, let me talk. So I think that it's really important that no matter how passionate you are, it's been something that I'm very conscious of, that to really give everyone on the table a place and a space to be heard. So for me, learning patience and absolutely learning to really be a good listener to all the team members and all the members of my team is something which I think has been important for me.
Has that reflected in your husband's opinion changing as well?
Not really. He just learned to let me talk.
Fair enough. And just one last thing, Katrina, for you. I'd love to keep going, but I think we're running out
I'm
of time.
joking about that, by the way. he's incredible, but he's a fantastic talker and a fantastic listener.
Yeah.
That I've learned from him
It's
a
a
lot.
very good quality, I'm
It
sure.
is.
So coming back to my question, what's next for you? Are you looking to invest in any other startups? Are you looking to set up any more companies? What's next for you as an entrepreneur?
You know, for me, I really do believe it's a deep-held belief that if you're going to step into any arena of business, like I said, you really have to have something new and something to offer. And for me, there have been two other aspects of, I think, what you could say in this journey that have always held a special place in my heart. And I still feel that it's something that will be realized. So in terms of investing in startups, yes, that's something I'm always looking at.
Sure.
And something I'm very passionate about, to try and see if you can learn or discover something new, and there's something that's coming up. But in terms of like starting another business, there are one or two ideas which I've been harboring, and I think it's all about when the time is right. Like with K-Beauty and with Nikon Falguni Nair, it was just the perfect marriage.
Absolutely.
And I think when that time is right, then probably I'm hoping that I will also be able to start that as well.
Great. Look forward to that. Thank you so much for your time today, Katrina. This was a fantastic conversation.
Thank you so much. Lovely
being
talking
here.
to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Katrina. It's time to move on to our next awards. To do the honors, I would like to invite on stage Arpita Agarwal, partner at Bloom Ventures, and Harsh Jain, Culture Enforcement Officer, CEO, and co-founder, Dream Sports, on the stage, please. Innovation, agility, and a bold vision. These are the hallmarks of a startup poised for long-term success. Our next category, the Forbes India Leadership Award for Promising Startup, recognizes a young enterprise that has demonstrated exceptional potential, rapid growth, and a disruptive approach in its industry. The 2025 Forbes India Leadership Award for Promising Startup goes to Minimalist. Minimalist, a homegrown, science-backed skincare brand, has revolutionized beauty with transparency, efficacy, and ingredient-driven formulations. It has built a strong consumer base, expanding across India and the globe, while setting new benchmarks in the skincare industry. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Rahul Yadav and Mohit Yadav, co-founders of Minimalist. Congratulations, Rahul and Mohit. We'd love to hear a few words.
So, thanks, Forbes. It's an honor to be here among this wonderful group of leaders. Those who don't know Minimalist, we are a skincare brand that started on two very basic principles and ethos that guide the company. One is giving clinically proven solutions, and second is being radically transparent with our customers. We live those values. We have great product. Those who have not tried, they should. And lastly, I think founders are honestly overrated. They get more credit than they deserve. So this one goes to the team, the people who are putting their heart and soul in our office. So, yeah, thanks again.
Congratulations, guys. For our next category, Forbes India Leadership Award for Regional Goliath honors a family-led business that is giving pan-India players a run for their money in this region. Now, these companies have for long challenged established pan-India players, and some of them are showing signs of national presence with regional dominance. The 2025 Forbes India Leadership Award for Regional Goliath, powered by Federal Bank, goes to MTR Foods. I'd like to request Sunay Bhasin, CEO MTR Foods, to join us on stage to receive the award, please. A few words, please.
Yeah, great honor. Thank you, Forbes India. You know, this also happens to be our 100th year since inception. So 1924 is when MTR started, and I don't think we could have had a better time. This award is, I mean, it celebrates not just our legacy, but 100 years of love that our consumers have given us. And I obviously accept this on behalf of not only the team here, but the great Orkla India team that we have back in Bangalore and Kochi. And really, it's a real honor, and here's to celebrating the next 100 years of bringing people together through great food that they love. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations to the viewer. All right, we have a selfie moment over there. One with the family. All right, there you go. Thank you, Arpit and Harsh, as well, for joining us, yeah? I'm told one more. Why not, guys? All right, as we move on, to do the honors for the next set of awards, I'd like to invite on stage Vivek Gambhir, venture partner, Lightspeed India, and also request Ajay Singh to join us back on stage, please. In the world of business, profits often overrule purpose. But our next award, the Forbes India Leadership Award for Grassroots Philanthropist, powered by Federal Bank, recognizes those who have gone beyond the scope of CSR activities to fully commit and pledge their time, efforts, and resources to the causes they deeply care about. The 2025 Forbes India Leadership Award for Grassroots Philanthropy, powered by Federal Bank, goes to Rekha and Rizwan Tia of the Tia Foundation. Rekha and Rizwan have found a common cause in leveraging technology, fully devoting themselves to enhancing outcomes in the healthcare space and helping non-profits to scale up. I'd like Rekha to come on stage, please. Rizwan couldn't join us today, but please put your hands together for the remarkable work they've been doing in accelerating the change in India's healthcare systems.
Thank you. I'm deeply honored to be here today and receive this award. I'd like to really first of all just thank the entire Forbes India leadership team as well as the jury for this recognition. Also on behalf of Rizwan, my co-founder, and the entire team at Quetta Foundation, without which none of this would have been possible. Actually, there are two emotions which are going through me. One is gratitude and the other is anticipation. I'm really grateful for being on this journey where we are harnessing the power of technology to create meaningful social impact in India. We've been working with NGOs for over 9 years now in the areas of livelihood, education, and healthcare. And it's been truly amazing to see how they have been able to scale and enhance outcomes using digital tools. We're building capacity through a center we have created with ILSS. And another big area of focus, like it was mentioned, is really accelerating the adoption of digital health tools to enhance quality, accessibility, and affordability of healthcare in India. I do need to take a minute just to really acknowledge and express my gratitude for all our partners. We've partnered with academic institutions like IIT Bombay, Ashoka University, and MUHS, Maharashtra University of Health Sciences, government institutions like NABH and NHA, as well as a large number of healthcare organizations. We work on cancer with the National Cancer Grid, RSSDI for digital diabetology, and now with FOXY in the mother and child health space. So really thanking all our NGO partners, our digital health partners, and our technology partners who have really walked with us on this journey and helped us to create impact and turn our vision into reality. The second emotion is really anticipation, because I believe that I think this is truly a transformative time for philanthropy in India. I think the power of technology is just growing. There is so many developments almost on a daily basis, and we're really excited to see what the future holds, and the possibilities seem almost endless. So once again, thank you. I think this award is not only just, it's not just a recognition of what has been done, but it's really an encouragement for us to really keep pushing forward and continue to do what we are doing. Thank you.
All right, we now turn to an award that celebrates those who are leading the charge in tackling some of the most pressing challenges posed by climate change. This year, we are proud to present the Climate Warrior Award to Indra Water. Recognized for its smart reuse applications that optimize the use of domestic and industrial wastewater, Indra Water is redefining wastewater management with cutting-edge technology by helping industries and hotels treat the recycle their water and also securing fresh water for the common man. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Amrit Om Nayak and Krunal Patel, co-founders of Indra Water, to receive the award.
First of all, thank you, Forbes. So many people to thank for this. Thank you, my family, and even Kunal's family was here. And of course, our team who have worked tirelessly through this journey. And so many people like Mr. Has Mariwala, who's sitting here, through Marico Innovation Foundation, they've supported so much over the years. I think it's time for us to realize that water security is not a topic for the future. It is something that we need to do now. At Indra, we are building really smart systems, really compact plug-and-play systems which can go into any establishment and treat your water right there, give it back for use. Every time we treat water, we ensure that we are making clean water available for someone else out there who really needs it. So we want more and more people to join us in this journey, treat more water, ensure that we're not polluting our freshwater bodies, and make a bigger impact on the future generations that can come out there. So thank you so much. And I also congratulate all the other winners out here. Thank you.
All right, congratulations there. I'd also like to thank Mr. Gambhir and Mr. Singh for doing the honors. All right, for the next set of awards, let me welcome on stage Harsh Mariwala on stage once again. And I'd also like to welcome KVS Manian, the MD and CEO of Federal Bank, on stage, please. The next category is the Forbes India Leadership Award for Turnaround Star, a company that has successfully redefined its strategy, achieved significant growth, and set new benchmarks in its sector. The Forbes India Leadership Award for Turnaround Star goes to Indian Hotels Company Limited, IHCL, by diversifying its portfolio to include a wider audience, launching new ventures. The MD and CEO Puneet Chatwal has scripted a turnaround story for the hospitality giant. Let me welcome him on stage to receive the award, please. Requesting the team also to come up on stage, please. A few words, sir, please.
Thank you, Forbes. Thank you to the jury. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. More than Indian Hotels, popularly known as the Taj Group, I think it's indeed a proud moment for the sector. While sitting there, I watched MTR Foods, and I saw Indra Water supplying to hospitality, aviation, etc., and now a hospitality company. So, listening to the chief economist of Bank of Baroda and others, something is changing around us. And when we talk about employment, we have added 30% more jobs in the last 4 years, going from 30,000 to 40,000 people directly, and each job creates 8 to 10 jobs in other sectors, because hospitality and tourism is the biggest multiplicator of jobs. So I think very important from a sector point of view, very important for Taj. And another thing I would like to share with you is very few brands from India have made it on the global arena. And one that stands out is Taj. And it's not our Taj, it's your Taj. So this award is mainly driven by the performance of all brands, but the backbone is, and in short term will continue to be Taj. And I think special thanks to all the people here who came with me, but More importantly, as I said, this is a special moment for the sector and hope others will follow suit and will try to copy Forbes. I don't think many award functions have had hospitality players at the forefront. The times have changed and I think we are getting used to it. Thank you very much for having us.
Congratulations, sir, and congratulations to the entire team as well. All right, the next recognition is for someone who has gone from being the BCCI secretary to becoming the youngest ever International Cricket Council chair. He has played a pivotal role in driving cricket's growth and with his commitment to the sport, driven a key initiative. Several of them actually, like gender pay parity, launch of the Women's Premier League, and the development of the National Cricket Academy Centre of Excellence. His leadership champions both expansion and inclusivity. Under his tutelage, cricket will undoubtedly flourish, reaching new heights of excellence and global appeal. Please give a huge round of applause to the Forbes India icon of excellence, Mr. Jay Shah.
Thank you, both of you. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Forbes for this honor and respect. I would like to thank my family for supporting in my journey. I would like to thank my colleagues in the BCCI who are here. And I would like to thank all ICC directors who elected me unanimously. And I would like to dedicate this award all the athletes who are working hard on the field. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir. All right, now thank you, sir, for joining us. All right, now let's take a break from recognitions and turn our focus to an engaging discussion on the future of energy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Praveer Sinha, CEO and MD, Tata Power Company Limited, for a conversation with CNBC TV 18's Nigel D'Souza.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Well, because of the line of business that I normally deal with, most of the time I get calls from, the back end of various corporates saying, Nigel, we don't want to know only about the revenue, the margins, the PLFs. So I think this is a good opportunity, Mr. Sinha, to understand your view on the economy, your view on the renewable energy space, as well as I would like to understand a little bit about your journey as well. So first up, there's a lot of debate about the state of the economy right now. And one of the lead indicators or the high frequency data that I track is the power demand. And that's one green spot, I would say, because power demand is looking up. I think at the start of January, there was some kind of softness, which post that actually has improved. What is your take on the economy as of now? Power demand is looking up. It could only get stronger from here on, going by historic data. So give us your take first.
Thank you, Nigel, and thank you, Forbes, for having me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, heartiest congratulations to all the winners today. It's great to be a part of this celebration. First of all, I must compliment you wearing a great jacket. I don't know whether it was by design to ask about power. So, power is sun, and yellow color. So I think you aptly dressed yourself.
I think it fits in, with the current state of affairs with regard to the stock market, add some color. And if you say solar, then I'll go with that as well, which I want to understand in further detail. But please go ahead, sir.
Thank you. So I think India is a growing country. It's an aspirational country. A lot of people today are aspiring to make a change in their lives. And I think if they want to change, power will play a very, very important role. And the consumption of power, we have seen, it's not only in the cities that this has happened, it has happened in the villages, thanks to the various programs of the government where they have been able to electrify most of our villages. So I think I'm, to that extent, fortunate that I work in a sector which is growing very fast. It is about providing access to energy to people in all parts of the country. And I'm quite excited about the opportunity. India's per capita is one of the lowest in the world. And there's only one thing that can happen, and it can only go up. And I think we'll play a very, very important role in this journey.
So as of now, power demand up to your expectations?
Yeah, absolutely. It is very much up to our expectation. Also, one of the things that I think we need to understand is that climate change is happening a big way. What we used to see, the start of summer, which typically would start in sometime in mid-March, now starts in beginning of February, and it goes right up to October. So I think the demand of power also has increased because of the change that we see in the climate, and the extreme heat conditions, extreme weather conditions are actually making the impact very, very high.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about the pivot then. Thermal power seems to be taking a bit of a back step as of now. And what's taking center stage is renewable power. And as you said, there's a lot of focus from the Tata Group itself, Tata Power, on renewable energy, whether it's solar or wind as well. Putting multi-billion-dollar project in South India and various other parts of the country as well. So India is headed to that 500 gigawatt, right, in terms of renewable energy capacity. What role does Tata Power play out there? The total capex you're putting down, where are you and where do you see yourself headed, say in the next 6-7 years or so?
I think we are fortunate in our country. Solar, we have more than 300 days of sunshine, and I think we need to exploit that. We need to use it to the maximum. Government is very keen on adding renewable capacity, clean energy capacity. And I think this is the need of the hour also, because with the type of climate change and with the type of things that are happening globally, for us, this transition is very, very important. Tata Power is one of the oldest power companies. We are nearly 110 years old. I saw MTR, 100-year-old company. So I think it's great. We have a great legacy, and it's great to be part of the change and transformation which is happening in the country. So I think we will definitely be playing a very, very important role. We have always been the game changers in terms of the technology, and the first hydro plant that came up in 1915 was set up by us, and very many firsts that have happened in last 100 years. So you will see us being right there in the forefront, driving all the new initiatives, all the new technologies, and I think Tata Power will be a very, very integral part of the transformation that will happen in the country.
Okay, you want to give us a couple of numbers? The total renewable capacity that you see by 2030 or so, Tata Power, because we know India is going to be adding many gigawatts. So if you want to give us a rough target?
I would just like to say that we'll add large capacity. We are one of the biggest, and also an important player, because it's not only adding capacity, but also ensuring that how do we provide access to people. We are an integrated power company, so we do all the things, that is transmission, distribution, and generation. So we will ensure that no one in this country has a shortage of power, and we will try to bring access to them wherever they are in this country.
All right, Mr. Sinha, tell us something a little bit about yourself, about your journey. you know, you have very strong foundation. Electric engineering is what you started off with, and then you're heading the company as well. Tell us a little bit about this journey. You know, the way you've moved in the last few years, the way you keep your team together and keep them motivated as well.
So I think I'm fortunate to be part of the Tata Group, where for us, what is important is the value system and purpose. This company has been right there for last more than 100 years. And the purpose was to produce clean energy, produce affordable energy, and provide large quantity of energy. And I have been working in this sector for last nearly 4 decades. So I really feel myself blessed. There has to be a purpose, and I think the purpose is that we provide universal access of energy. We ensure that there is no energy poverty in the country, and anyone, anytime, anywhere will get access. We can now actually give them access of clean energy, which was not there earlier with many of the technology innovations that are happening. And I think the other thing that we continue to do is empathy for employees, empathy for the society. Again, part of the Tata DNA that we have, where we reach out to everyone in the society and ensure that how do we bring them into mainstream and provide them the opportunity so that they are able to excel in their space. And lastly, I think one of the things that we always keep on working upon is the humility and how that will bring the best technology amongst us. Because when you have humility, you always have a purpose to learn. You are always a student. You never say that I know everything. And I think that's what is very important for me and for the work that we do in Tata Power, that how we become always a young company, always trying to learn new things, and never saying that we know everything, and the spirit of learning and the spirit of trying new things is always there.
Well, indeed, and I think, you know, in all our professions, you keep learning on a day-to-day basis. I'm lucky as well, since we track the stock markets. On a day-to-day basis, you keep learning, keep innovating, and in fact, try to get the best for yourself as well as for your audience. Final question, sir, before we wind down. You know, we've spoken a little bit about the sector, about the company, that's Startup Power as well. Tell us a little bit about how you've managed personal as well as professional career. You know, someone like me, I've got 2 little kids at home, and it's a challenge off and on, you know, because you try to put in your best, you're putting the best show at work, try to be the best dad at home. Tell us a little bit about your journey as well.
I don't think we should get bogged down in always being the best. We should always be talking about how you are available for people and how you have time for people. And I think that's what is important. Whether it is best or the second best, I don't think everyone will become judgmental, but more is that you are trying to spend time and quality time with whoever you are. So in a meeting, I know people have a habit of seeing their mobile and sending messages. In an event you attend, people will look at their mobile at least 10 times and try to figure out that who sent you a message or or whom you want to send a message. So I think we need to give quality time wherever we are, and I think if we can do that, we would do a great job.
Okay, you know, in terms of India's journey towards this entire clean energy, renewable energy, net zero, do you have anything on your wish list that you would look forward to? You know, since we're focusing on solar, there's plenty that's been done, right, with regard to the solar modules, solar cells as well. Anything that's on your wish list?
I think the wish list is always that how do I ensure that we reach out to everyone. And I mentioned to you about energy poverty. They are large parts of this country and also large parts of world where people do not have access of energy. And when I talk of access, it's an affordable energy that we are talking about. And how do we reach out to them? And how do we provide them the same access as we have in cities over here. I can imagine if we don't have supply of electricity in cities and you don't get to charge your mobile phone, what will happen? People are going to get crazy. So, but I know places in India, in villages in India, where people do not have, and someone collects mobiles and goes to the nearby town and charges it once in 3 days and brings it. So while for us, we take it for granted 24/7 in one day, there are places where 24/7 has a different meaning, 24 hours in 7 days. So I think it's very, very important that we provide them 24/7 electricity every day, right through the year.
Okay, all right, Mr. Sinha, it's been good chatting with you. Thanks a lot for joining in. So the key takeaways is power demand in India is rock solid, plenty of room for penetration, work-life balance needs to be maintained. Stay in the moment, that you are in. Thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sinha. Thank you, Nigel. All right. As we continue the celebrations, we now move to the next set of awards, recognizing businesses for their resilience, leadership, and excellence. I would like to invite on stage Mr. Sandeep Ghosh, Country Head, Visa, and Mr. Bala Deshpande, former founding partner, Mega Delta Capital Advisors, to join us for the next set of awards. All right, our next award category, the Forbes India Leadership Award for Next Gen Entrepreneur, celebrates a dynamic next generation leader who has taken the reins of the family business to chart a futuristic vision with innovation, new strategies, and growth avenues. This year, the Forbes India Leadership Award for Gen Next Entrepreneur goes to Varun Jaipuria, the Executive Vice Chairman of Varun Beverages. As a third-generation entrepreneur, Varun is scaling the family business by entering new markets and segments. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Mr. Varun Jaipuria.
Well, firstly, I'd like to congratulate all the winners. Thanks, Forbes, for this award at the same time. A little bit about my business. I believe we're just scratching the surface at the moment. The per capita consumption in India in the beverage space is probably one of the lowest in the world. There are 12 million outlets out there. We pretty much serve only 4 million at the same time. As there's more electrification happening, better infra, more roads are being built, we're able to obviously penetrate more deeper into the rural. We've got a very, very strong portfolio of our brands which we work with. And I believe, like I said, this is only scratching the surface. And this wouldn't be possible without a lot of support from my family and, of course, my entire team, all the dedication, commitment, and the hunger they bring into work every single day. It wouldn't be possible. Again, thank you so much for this award. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations there. All right, our next category goes beyond recognizing business success. It honors visionary leaders who have not only built enterprises, but have also created ecosystems and institutions that strengthen key pillars of society. The Forbes India Leadership Award for Institution Builder goes to a pioneer who held on to his beliefs of creating an educational institution at par with global standards. Through Ashoka University and the Central Square Foundation, he is on a mission to improve education for generations to come. Please put your hands together for Ashish Dhawan, co-founder and trustee, Central Square Foundation and co-founder, Ashoka University.
Thank you very much for this award. Deeply appreciate it. We set out on this journey to build India's best university. Amit Chandra, who's on the jury, has been part of that from the beginning. And the idea of Ashoka is really to build a liberal arts and sciences university in India. We're now 10 plus years old. And I'm just amazed that now we get applications from 40 countries around the world. Students applying from Africa, Southeast Asia, South Asia to an Indian university. And we've had students this year turn down places like University of Chicago, Duke, Amherst, Urbana-Champaign, London School of Economics to come to Ashoka instead. So we're preventing the brain drain from dollars from going out. And we hope to build an even better institution in the coming decades. I also set up another institution called Central Square Foundation that really works on foundational literacy and numeracy, the early grades, because half our children fall behind. So as opposed to doing our own little thing in the corner, we said, let's work with government. The Prime Minister set up a national mission. We work across 11 states, supporting these states, which cover 70% of India's children, grades 1, 2, and 3, to improve learning outcomes. And I'm very pleased that the most recent ASAR survey for learning outcomes shows for the first time, we're seeing the needle start to turn in this area. So I'm very passionate about education. Thank you again for this award.
Congratulations, sir, and thank you, Ms. Deshpande, and Mr. Ghosh as well. All right. Our next recognition, but before that, let me invite on stage Mr. Mariwala to present the next set of awards, please. Our next recognition is for a visionary in the banking industry. He has played a pivotal role in transforming Federal Bank into one of India's most respected and innovative financial entities. A big round of applause, and as we welcome our next icon of excellence in banking, stalwart Shyam Srinivasan.
Thank you, Forbes. Thank you, the jury. Thank you, everybody, for choosing me for this. About 6 months back on this very stage, I had a farewell and I thought my game was over. So I'm delighted that you've all called me back here to get an award. The team that sent me off, Manian, Harsh, Venkat, some of you, Murthy, are here. But this one goes to the entire bank. Thank you very much. And all of you, take it away. It is an honor. Congratulations to the other winners also. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir, and thank you, sir. All right. All right, if I can request Mr. Mariwala to join us back on stage for the next set of award as well. So our next icon of excellence has led Tech Mahindra Limited 3 years transformation journey. His initiatives are making steady progress. The company is now sort of understanding on selective large deals and stringent cost controls to add on to its transformation journey. Mohit Joshi couldn't join us today, but I'd like to welcome Birendra Sen, President for Business Process Services, Tech Mahindra, to receive the award on Mohit's behalf.
I apologize on Mohit's behalf that he couldn't make it here, but if he was here, he'll say he won this because he has got a wonderful team. Since he's not here, I'll say, he won it despite us. So thank you so much to Forbes India and the jury to give us this award. It also feels like a Mahindra Group reunion here, a leadership conference. I can see so many executives, Rajesh. Great to see all of you here, and have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you, congratulations, and thank you, Mr. Mariwala, as well, yeah? Okay, now for the final set of awards of the evening. Please join me in welcoming back on stage Mr. KVS Manian and Dr. Praveer Sinha. Continuing our celebratory spirit of entrepreneurship, our next category is for Forbes India Leadership Award for Entrepreneur of the Year, a recognition that celebrates exemplary leadership, sustained performance, and a smart propensity for risk-taking. From online retail to omni-channel, this entrepreneur has continued to build deeper molds over the last 15 years, helping his company to emerge as India's biggest omni-channel retailer for children's products. Please join me in welcoming on stage the Fila Entrepreneur of the Year 2025, Super Maheshwari, co-founder and CEO, First Cry.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for honoring me with this award. I'm deeply touched. Thanks to Forbes India team and the jury. I must say, entrepreneur's journey is a roller coaster journey. I'm sure many of our friends here are entrepreneurs and business leaders, and it's no short than a real roller coaster, real one. 15 years. Starting from scratch, building institutions, it can be breathtaking. At moments, there can be crisis, there can be highs and lows and whatnot. And all of this is possible. It brings me immense joy to get this recognition, but I will be, honored to say that this was not been possible if you don't have a support of your your immediate family. And I would like to call out my wife, my daughter, my parents. Without their support, this would have been not possible. And my co-founders, my team, First Cry team, which is 4,000 plus team members, this would have not been really possible. So I really honestly dedicate the award to my family and my team. For all of you who may not have heard of First Cry, we are India's largest mothers, baby and kids platform for bringing joy to young parents. That's what we do. And hope to make India proud and take the brand First Cry globally as well. We have already in Middle East and being the largest specialist e-retailer as well. So hoping and continuing to, India is the largest world's capital of babies and kids. So hoping to continue to bring joy to young parents as we go along. Thank you once again. Thank you, Forbes. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations, sir. All right, as we come to the grand finale of this extraordinary evening, it's time to recognize the FILA CEO of the Year, a recognition that celebrates exceptional business acumen, entrepreneurial spirit, and a visionary leadership. The recipient of this award this year is a leader who has navigated industry challenges, sustained growth, and played a pivotal role in making electric vehicles a functional reality for the masses. Ladies and gentlemen, the FILA 2025 CEO of the Year goes to Rajesh Chijurikar, Executive Director and CEO, Auto and Farm Sector, Mahindra & Mahindra. Huge round of applause as we invite him to receive the award.
I know it's the end of the evening and I'm coming between the last course that you have. Thank you, Forbes. Thank you, the jury. Harsh, you're the chairman, and I've learned so much from you. You know, it may sound like a cliche, but our leadership team of the Auto and Farm is here, and really, this is something we've all dreamt to together. We've executed together. We've had many fights and conflicts along the journey. But that's what this game is all about, which is working to get the best and seamlessly execute with agility. And of course, this is on behalf of the larger team of several thousand people that we have in India and around the world, who all are very proud with how we've done. It's never easy to get growth and profits together. And I think that's what the team has really done amazingly well. Thank you to my family for being part of this journey over the long years and especially the last few. So again, thank you, jury and the Forbes group for this.
Many congratulations, sir, and thank you as well. Thank you, Mr. Manian and Dr. Sinha. All right, before we conclude the evening, I'd like to request all the winners to join us on stage for a group photograph. All the Forbes India Leadership Award winners on stage, please. All the winners tonight, FILA 2025, please join us on stage. Can we have a group photograph, please? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the FILA 2025 awardees on stage for you. All right, can I request the presenters also to join us on stage, please? So stay on. A picture, please, yeah? Yeah. All right, as we close this unforgettable evening, a heartfelt thank you to our esteemed guests and presenters and winners for making this event a grand success. Congratulations again to all the winners. And once again, a special thanks to the presenting partner, Federal Bank, driven by Kia, Workspace partner, IndiCube, tourism partner, Rajasthan Tourism, and associate partner, Reliance Industries Limited. Thank you all for being such a wonderful audience. And until we meet again, good night and take care.